Darren, no fans yet, of course, but it is getting closer. How much of a boost would it be to get fans back into Hewish Park as soon as it's possible?
It'd be massive, huge for us. I mean, I think when fans weren't allowed in, I think there was a few managers that sighed a quiet relief that, they wouldn't get criticised and things like that. But I can only tell you from my own personal experience, when I joined this club, I always reference my time coming as an opposing manager as to how expectant, it's probably the best word, how expectant I always felt the crowd were here at Hewish. And it made me want to get my teams, really firing, because I knew that the crowd were expectant of the home team to really perform and play well and play with a winning mentality. So I always felt that even as an away manager. And I've alluded to that quite a few times. It's massive for us, especially that Thatcher's End. It's a huge part of our momentum. Even things, a shot saved, goes out for a corner, noise builds. So many teams come here and they can't handle that because some of the players are not used to the kind of the professionalism of our football club and the crowd and the attendance and how many turn up and things like that. So I think it's been huge for us. It's been huge. It's been very, very different. I like the way they drown out my cursive. That's always good, because my dad always tells me off on a Saturday night, swearing too much again, son. So I'm hoping they're going to give me a reprieve on a little bit of internal family discipline that I'm receiving most weeks. It's huge for us. It's huge. And the shame of it all is that if we could have moved our game to Wednesday, in theory we could have played with fans, and unfortunately our opponent refused us, refused to move the game with us, which I thought was really poor, because we're all trying to help each other in football. Pre-season I wanted to play all the teams in Somerset to try and help them with, attendances and fans, because those clubs could have them. So I played all the local teams to help football, not to help Yeovil, to help football. And now we've got a chance to help each other. We've all gone back into this very, very kind of inclusive, my world is the only world that matters type attitude. And we're not helping each other, which I think shows a real lack of class, personally.
Yeah, and now, of course, you're changing to the FA Cup on the fields. Does the change of competition come at a good time for Yeovil Town?
Well, look, the two games we've won this season have been in this competition, so there's good evidence to say yes, absolutely. There's good evidence to say playing away from home is going to be beneficial to us. But they're all tough games. They're all really tough games, and we're off the back of our worst performance of the season, which was last Saturday, especially first half. And we've got to pick ourselves up and improve our performance levels for Sunday. Definitely. I love the FA Cup. I think it's great. Are they one-off? They're obviously one-off games. You get an opportunity to have that kind of moment. Playing on the Sunday, playing earlier, all those things. I think it's going to be a good occasion for us, and it has something we've improved on from last year.
Would you rather be playing against a team that's not in the same level as you, that plays in the National League as well?
No, I'm fine with that. I'd rather have been at home. I always, those cup games, I'd always prefer them to be at home, but it wasn't to be. But no, I'm looking forward to going to Stockport. I've not been there yet. And it was one of the clubs when I came here last year, like a Wrexham, that I thought, this will be really great experience for me personally, going to these really traditional grounds, proper football grounds with great, sort of tradition to it and history to it and atmosphere. Even though there's no one in there, there's still an atmosphere in certain stadiums, and I'm looking forward to going there.
Yeah, what sort of a game are you expecting from them? Well, they've slipped to 10th in the table, but they haven't played for so long, have they?
No, that's right. No, that's right. And, you know, the last game was a very good performance against Rochdale in the FA Cup. So, you know, everyone knows, everyone's going to say this about Stockport this year. They were the kind of the early recruitment season big spenders. Recruited very strong, recruited very established, and they'll be, you know, quite rightly so. I think they were they made favourites at the beginning of the season? I think they were made favourites at the beginning of the season. So, you know, always strong teams. Jim Gannon's teams are always strong. He's an experienced man. Very tough game, really tough game.
Yeah, it's a sense really that you can build off of this. I mean, a cup run would give you all the kind of the kickstart you need to get your league season up and going properly.
Yeah, any win could do that, couldn't it? I mean, any win could get that going. But we got to concentrate on the next game. I think the competition is psychologically, it does take you away from your league program. But you know, we got to concentrate on ourselves. We massively got to concentrate on ourselves. December is going to be a really important month for us. So it's it's going into that with as much momentum as possible. You know, unfortunately, we've got the turnaround for the Tuesday game is very, very short, and the injuries we have are vast, very vast. It's just a shame that, you know, we can't play Wednesday here at Hewish with our supporters, with a footballing spectator present, because I think that would have done, you know, the world of good, not only for our business model, but for people who support football. It's been so long since they've been able to support their team, and now they're going to be denied a chance to come into the ground and support their football club, and that'll then be another 2 weeks before we see them again. So I think it's really sad, me.
Yeah, personally, how are you feeling, Darren? I mean, given the start of the season, how are you feeling after this many games into the campaign?
It's part of the course. We had the same run last year at one point, but last year I think we slipped to 6th or something like that. And listen, the world was going to end then for some people when we were 6th and not 1 in 9 or 7 or 8 or 6 or whatever it was. But it's just part of the season. Every season we're going to have these types of moments. We'll probably have another one at some point this year, and you just work through them, and you have to work through them, and come out the other side. And the one thing I know with the group of players, and my character, Terry's character, is that we don't shirk away from a fight. We don't resort to name calling and things like that, or excuse making. We just carry on working. We roll our sleeves up, and we fight for dear life. And that will always be the nucleus of my personality. That will always be the fundamentals of how I was brought up, and we'll carry on doing that. And the players are brilliant to work with. I won't turn my back on the players. I refuse to do that. The boys that have been with me for 17 months in particular, they haven't become bad players, and I certainly haven't become a bad coach or manager just because of this 9-game run. So huge belief in my people, huge belief in my players, huge belief in Terry and the team, and we work through. And when we get through it and we come out the other side, you know, and we're starting to be really competitive again, there'll be a few people who owe me an apology.
And the chairman's given you his back in this week, which must be nice for you to hear. Do you feel the pressure, though, Darren, from the outside? I mean, some fans airing their views on our phone-ins and so on. Do you feel the pressure growing by each game?
No, I'm always very, you know, whenever I lose, I mean, let's take losing, for example, on a case-by-case, anger, frustration, sometimes confusion, fatigue, stuff. You know, they're just all natural kind of elements of, or byproducts of losing games. I've certainly felt them, certainly had them. I don't feel any pressure from Scott. Scott's not held a gun to my head in any way, shape or form. And you know, he knows, like we all know in the kind of inner realms of the football club. We're working very hard. We're trying our best. We haven't got it right, but there's a long, long way to go. And like I said, when we get it right, there'll be a few people with their big fat size 9 feet in their mouth, and they'll owe me an apology. So, you know, listen, we've gone through one of the toughest periods in football. in terms of COVID. We've got a group of players that willingly sacrifice their earnings, their wages, in order to help keep this club going. We had lots of staff that willingly did the same, me included. And we're going through a bit of a bad spell. It will subside. It will get better. Of course it will. Good always comes out of these bad spells. And it's just very disappointing, very, very disappointing that some people can be, if that's what it is, phoning. I'm always at the ground. They want to come and see me. I'm always at the ground. I'm at the training ground. I don't ban anyone from watching training. No, can't get too close because of COVID. So, yeah, there's going to be a few people that are going to owe me one, aren't they?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. I don't need too much. Just wanted to know, essentially, with obviously the possible financial rewards that could be in play in the third round, with the situation at the club at the moment, it feels like it's extra important to try and get through this year.
Never. I think the greatest value to me in terms of this is winning the game and sleeping. I'm not sleeping too well lately, but I think absolutely. There's always those kind of bonuses, aren't there, with these competitions and the prestige and things like that. And going back to the Man United game when Darren was here, and and the kind of the experience and spectacle that you get from it. And I think is the third round in the new year, or is it before Christmas? So things like getting into the new year and having that to look forward to. It's quite a kind of motivating and energising scenario that you look forward to. I had Reading, or a championship side, during my time as manager at Stevenage, and I gave the debut that day to young Ben Wilmot, who has gone on to brilliant things. And I've got good memories of the third round. Very, very good memories of the third round.
I think the prize money's not quite what it was last year. They've halved it a bit, but the television money is still there. And if you ended up picking up a big tie and a six-figure TV check, that could do the club the world of good, couldn't it?
Always. Yeah, I don't know a club owner that turns his back on maybe the rewards of a third-round FA Cup sort of pot of gold. But look, for us, we've got a really tough game. It's a really tough game for us, and we've got to make sure that we concentrate on our own performances and what we're doing and what we're trying to change and how we're trying to improve. And I think that's probably the most important. But it's natural to dream in the FA Cup, isn't it? It's natural to kind of think about maybe what might be around the corner. And like I said, it wouldn't surprise me that after kind of a gloomy period, that something really great comes out of it.
The news this week that Scott is considering selling Hewish Park and the land to the council. Does that mean anything to you? Impact on you at all? Any thoughts on it?
No, it means nothing right now. I mean, as you can imagine, you get quite consumed as a manager. I just read an article on The Athletic about Frank Lampard, and he was talking about the way he's consumed and how hard it is to switch off on his day off. And anyone who's been a manager out there gets my respect straight away, because the majority of us take an awful lot of grief for an awful sort of little back. And some, my consumption of my thoughts on anything at the moment are obviously trying to improve our performances and results. And the land around the ground, I'm sorry if I've offended anyone here by saying something that, very bland and boring, but I couldn't care less at the moment. I just want to make sure the players get up to speed and we're in great shape for Sunday and Tuesday.
Thank you very much. All the best.
I think that's the first time I've ever been politically correct, isn't it?
I make a habit of it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's boring, isn't it? I'll carry on singing me songs. It's fine. Don't worry about
it. Yes. Cheers, mate.
Thanks.
Hi, Darren.
Hi, pal.
I'm all right. Oh God, I'm okay. Amidst all the doom and gloom of last Saturday, it's not really been a bad week in terms of obviously the news about the council possibility of the deal coming, and getting hyped up for an FA Cup game, which, as you say, it could lead to riches beyond all belief at the moment. So not entirely all bad.
No, look, for me, I've had a really good week. I love working with this group of players. They energise me and motivate me. 100% of the time. I really enjoy working with them. Was I angry with them Saturday? I was furious. And Sunday when we was in, I was furious. But from Monday we started building, and we have to build because there's a lot of very, very strong relationships between everyone at the club. It's a very, very inclusive, family-orientated place, and we try and look after each other. So for me, the week's all been about building and constructing something, a performance, a strategy, and getting ready for Sunday. And the game's coming up thick and fast. I enjoy it. You got to enjoy challenges. I mean, 4 months ago we was all locked in our houses, so just to be able to get out and get to work is very enjoyable for me. And I certainly, whilst I very much despise losing games or not winning games, I'm very lucky to get out every day, work with people I very much like and admire and respect, and I do something that I've done for a long, long time now, and I get a lot of satisfaction and enjoyment out of it. Unfortunately, that's always culminated in some sort of scoreline on a Saturday, so I have to take that into consideration. But we've had a good week's training. Club seems to be in a good place. Owners been fantastic, and we're ready to attack what's in front of us. I'm certainly not going to stop throwing punches, that's for sure.
I was saying to the lads that came up earlier before you were on, you haven't dropped a mirror or smashed a mirror anywhere, have you? I'm not sure about that.
No, look, there are lots of details that go into these defeats or this lack of wins that are important to me. They look really bad if I keep harping on about, and it just looks like an excuse culture, and we're certainly not that. But I've got 3 referees' reports that would be 9 points, telling me how bad the decision is. It should have been this, it should have been that. Been 9 points. No one would have been throwing any stones at me then, with 14 points on the board and somewhere in the top, whatever that would place us. So there are small details like that, but it's just important that we retain a professionalism, we retain a perspective of what's on the horizon, and good will come. It does. We work too hard, Terry and I and the lads. They work too hard. Even the gesture, some of the senior players came to me this week, first time I've ever had this in my career, and asked to do the press. You've been doing it on your own. We'd like to do it. We'd like to share the message with our supporters and the local media.
Yeah, that showed a great sense of responsibility, I think, which I'm sure the supporters and certainly we as a press appreciate, because it gets a slightly different angle on the whole situation. But the crowd situation, disappointed about Eastleigh, but nonetheless, on the horizon, fans coming back to Hewish Park is a great bit of news this week as well, isn't it?
Oh, I can't wait for them. I can't wait for the Thatcher's End. I lived all week for that song at the end of a win. Brilliant! What a fantastic feeling. And even when we have one here, we've not been able to have that or share it with anyone. So to be able to share a performance will be great. And will they help us? They will. It'll be an unbelievable addition to our playing performance and our results. I'm absolutely positive about that.
And 2,000 fans is not bad in relation to our sort of average figure, I wouldn't have thought. I mean, it sort of sounds about 2/3 of what we would normally get.
Yeah, no, 600 in here. The 600 that we had in here against, or the 1,000, whatever the pilot was, against Bath, was the last time we played here with supporters in a friendly. And even that was, even that Bath performance has probably been our best performance of the season so far. And, just to have those voices and that encouragement and that energy coming from the stand, so important, really important. So, I'm very much looking forward to having them back. I love it when we attack the Thatcher's End, normally in the second half, and everything builds, and there's that nice crescendo at the end with the song.
Well, listen, mate, all the best for the weekend. I hope it's a great victory for you. And please
man.
get Man United again, because I've had them twice now, so it'd be nice to make the hat-trick.
Yeah, absolutely. Top man, cheers, Aid.
Thanks, mate.
Darren, how are you doing?
Hi, Paul. You okay?
Yeah, not too bad. How's the squad looking for Sunday?
Injured. Injured. Yeah, look, we've been quite unfortunate with injuries. Collins won't be available. Diath won't be available. Murphy hasn't trained all week, but should be there, should be okay. Who else is there? Staunton is 50-50. Wilkinson's 50-50. Morgan Williams is injured and has subsequently returned to Coventry for the time being. Who else have we got? I'm trying to work this out now. I think that's it. But some big players, some big players for us. You never realise how strong and big of a player Lee Collins is until he's not out there. You never do. His character and his aggression, his commitment, he's been hugely missed, hugely.
And I know you don't always look too much into the future, but does the short-term kind of turnaround worry you long-term?
The short-term turnaround worry me long-term in regards to playing so many games in a few days.
Yeah, with the and stuff.
Yeah, of course, but I can't. I'm not in control of that. I'm not in control of that turnaround and that time. I'm just a little bit disappointed that the football world that banded together so well and give it the big oops that we got to look after each other and all this malarkey. I can't believe we can't move a game 24 hours to a Wednesday to allow supporters to watch it. I can't believe it. So what happens now is human nature kicks in, and the next time someone wants a favour from us, we go, no one done a favour for us. No one did anything for us. Why should we do something for you? And then that spirals and spirals and spirals and spirals and spirals until no one wants to help anyone. I really don't get it. I don't get it. If the shoe was on the other foot, my life. Incredible. But the turnaround will be what it is. We'll have to get the lads back on the Sunday and get them recovered, ready for Tuesday night here.
I know you want to win every game and you don't always look to Tuesday, but what's more important, the financial boost, maybe the third round, or 3 points in the league?
Both. Nah, listen, they're all important. We'll attack Sunday. I keep saying Saturday. We'll attack Sunday, and then we'll attack Tuesday in whichever shape we're in. If we lose Sunday, we'll attack Tuesday. If we win Sunday, we'll attack Tuesday. It's the only way I know how to be, really. And one thing I've definitely learned over the last year, half a year is how important and precious our time is. You just got to keep attacking it and keep getting out there and putting yourself right in the middle and going for it again. And good things are there for us. Good things are there for us. I 100% believe that.